So here's my paperwork. Do you see this? Case closed. You can stop trying to turn me in for welfare fraud. I've never done it, and I want that heap shit off my goddamn record, you fucking pieces of shit. Why don't you do your jobs? I sent in the paperwork. If you did not process it properly, that is on you, not me. It's closed. Do you hear me, Todd Quick? John Banks, you can quit turning me in for this now. Sue. Story time. So, the very first time that any of you met John Banks, and I don't remember what kid it was, you are going to have to come up and introduce yourself and tell everyone how he told you how he knows me.
So we were like discussing who's going to be in the car. So I was in the car first, and then he's like, as you know, me and your mom were married, and then he started like saying then we had for older kids, right? And then he's like, while he's saying that, he's saying like sexual stuff to me, which I shouldn't have been hearing from him. I don't even know him. And he was like, and then he said, all right, and I didn't answer him. Then he went, all right, and then and I said, okay.
Story time. Let's talk about visitation with Todd. Let's talk about what went on at Todd's house, why he was ultimately told he had to have supervised visits with you kids. Gregory, what did you come home and tell me your father did to you?
So I went to his house, and then I came home from our dad's house, and then I told our mom that he like kept laying on me. He bit my leg, and he would go like this to your leg and tickle it. He laid on Joe.
Did it tickle when what was he doing to your leg?
He was going like this, like it tickled, but it hurt like super bad because he's like strong, and he would squeeze as hard as he can. And I was only like 3, maybe. He would suffocate.
Yes, because you ended up. How old are you now?
I'm 12.
Yes, and the last time you guys seen your dad, how old do you remember being?
Like 7.
Zach, come over here.
I remember being like 7.
You weren't 7. It wasn't that long ago. You're the one that still thinks that we did laundry every 3 weeks. Next kid. When do you remember last seeing your dad?
When I was like...
He used to walk you to school.
8, 9 years old.
It wasn't that old. He took off 7 years ago. 7 years ago. They have no concept of time. They're children. He took off 7 years ago. Gregory, why did your dad bite you that time?
He bit me because I fell out of the chair because the wheel was already broken off of it. And he laid on me. The first time he laid on me was because I spilled I think it was some sort of soda on his desk. So then he started laying on me and stuff, and I couldn't breathe at all.
And then, what did he tell you if you came home and told me?
He said that he would like bite me. He would hurt me.
Well, what he said, what the kids told me, that he said, snitches get stitches, is what he was always telling Gregory. So it took him quite a while, took Gregory quite a while, before he told me that this stuff was going on over there. Took him quite a while. And then, once Gregory told me, and I confronted Todd with it, he started calling Gregory a rat, which went all around Walton. All of Walton was calling Gregory a rat because Gregory told me that his father bit him. Isn't that cute? And Todd turned me in because my house was messy. Didn't come over and help me clean. Didn't come over and help me take care of these kids. He turned me in. which of course they did whatever investigation. Nothing ever fucking happened. Whatever. Turned me in. This little guy here. All right, so I have a brother who passed away, and when he was a kid, my dad's cousin Debbie named him Grubby Billy, and my brother would call him Grubby Debbie, because no matter what my brother did, he was one of those little boys, he was just always dirty. You could clean him up, and in 5 seconds, I don't know where he'd find the dirt from, but he'd be dirty. And this little boy here, Zachary, is the exact same way. So you get him all cleaned up for school, all showered, all ready, and for whatever reason, I don't know what kind of dirt pile he played in between the backyard and walking to the front, when Todd would show up occasionally to walk them to school. When he didn't show up, and then I'd have to walk them because, I didn't get a call or anything. I'm hungover, I can't make it. He just wouldn't show up. And he would throw a fit because he'd have to wash Zachary's face. He went to the school and complained to the school what a horrible mother I am, because he, once a day, sometimes, would have to wash Zachary's face. I don't know who was washing it all the rest of the time. I do believe that was me. So what did your dad do the whole time you were over at his house?
Play video games, and then he gave us cards. But then he.
And what? What did he do? He played video games and what?
And sleep.
Video games and sleep.
Or
And
he'd go get,
and he would play
or
chess.
he would leave the house and leave us there to go get beer. That's it.
Leaving the kids home alone to go get beer. And then once the kids told me that was going on, he called social services and reported that I was leaving the kids home alone. No, I wasn't. Todd, no, I wasn't. You liar.
And then he gave.
Now, sorry, go ahead.
And then he gave us playing cards, like Magic. I don't know what it's called. Magic the Gathering. Yeah, but then he gave those. He got them for Joe. But then our dad, they arrived, and then he just started saying that Joe has to split them up with us when he already gave them to Joe. But then, like, the end of the day, he started like giving all of his cards to keep. But then I look at his Facebook and he sold them. And he sold all.
Oh yes, all of the stuff that was supposed to belong to you guys when he up and left 7 years ago, he sold. We saw all on his marketplace or whatever. He sold it. All the stuff that he claimed belonged to them, which I told them it really doesn't. It's not yours. Don't even get your hopes up. Just go over there and do whatever you do. Until I found out about the abuse that was going on. And we had court. He took me to court. I don't know why. Custody, visitation, whatever he thought he was going to get. I show up, we have the last trial, and it was agreed upon with me and my lawyer that he, after speaking to the kids, that my lawyer was only going to agree on supervised visits. And guess who didn't show up? Todd. Didn't show up. But then he tells the kids that I'm the one that didn't show up to court.
And when he lived in Stanford, he came for like a day. He was still drinking. The beer was in like the bathroom, like, and it's like a beer bed and breakfast. There was the room, and then there was a little room right for the bathroom, which I'm pretty sure is missing a door, so someone could just walk in on us, like our dad, for instance. But then we see in there's a little can of beer right there, and there all he was doing is trying to cause problems. Like, he just brought up like those randomest things, like from 7 years ago when we used to go. He brought those things up, and like he brought up like everything that was trying to cause fights.
Yeah.
So he hasn't seen the kids in 7 years. I contact him to let him know, Todd, you know what? I haven't bothered you for a goddamn thing. You took off. You've been playing your video games, doing whatever you've been doing. We need help. You think he helps us? Nope.
He said he's gonna give us a house, but now first he said he'd give us phones and like a line, but then he said the AT&T lines are too expensive, and he makes like over 50 grand a year. But then we looked it up, and AT&T line is only like $10, no, like $20 a month maybe, and that's like, he makes like times like.
He makes, as last we knew from what he told us, we were all in this bed and breakfast room. Social services tried to say I had him at the shelter, or excuse me, they tried to nail me for this because I was honest with them, and I told them, well, I contacted their father because I'm supposed to exhaust all my resources. I contacted their father, told him that we need help. He came to Stanford and stayed in a bed and breakfast. And they say, what? He was at the foster care home. I said, no, that's not even what I said. He was at the little yellow bed and breakfast on Main Street by Family Dollar. I did not allow him at the homeless shelter. I told him, no, we're not allowed to have people there. What? You had him? You cannot ever do that. Don't you ever have? I didn't. Again, I will repeat. But I bet that's written in my chart. Don't ever be honest with these people and tell them anything. They just twist it around. You cannot be honest with social services. They are not going to help you out of your situation. They are not going to help you out of your problem. Whatever your circumstances are, they make sure to make them worse. They actually do. Someone needs to come talk to all these people that have been involved with social services and find out what resources they have been connected with, what referrals they get connected with. The only people that have access to any of this stuff are the people that actually work there, that work for Delaware Opportunities, and that work for social services. Us homeless people, the people it's meant for, we don't get it. The Scarlett Johansson commercial with feeding the children, no, my children don't get it. We're not allowed to go over to the food bank. We are not permitted at the clothing bank. They keep telling me it's not personal. It's not just about me. So then this must be everyone. Nobody's getting access to anything. They're hoarding it.